Eastern countries, you're waiting for, I think in India it's actually 16 years right now for a family reunification application.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And if I'm trying to get my grandmother to come over, I don't think I'll see my grandmother before she actually can come over.
Before you become a grandmother.
So what we are doing is to ensure that that becomes, first, get rid of the backlog. There's about an 8-year backlog. We need to get rid of that backlog. Yesterday it needed to go. And then work towards ensuring that it's a fair and equitable process.
I have one question. Frankly speaking, I am a very strong Liberal supporter. But what do you have to say today from your party point of view so that I can vote tomorrow for NDP?
Liberals, why, can I ask you a question back to answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Why have you been a strong Liberal supporter?
Because Liberal basically is a very supportive with the immigrants. The policies, that's why we feel for the Liberal.
Okay. If I may, I will like to say that it is Pierre Trudeau's Liberal Party that was very supportive of immigrants. He dreamed up and imagined the Canada Multiculturalism Act, and then actually it's funny that Brian Mulroney's Conservatives were in power when it came into effect. But today's Liberal Party is not a Pierre Trudeau-like Liberal Party. It's a very neoconservative Liberal Party that has been supportive of the discriminatory changes that have come to our immigration policy, that have come to the divisive discriminatory behaviors that are happening in our country.
Can I just add one more thing? In terms of the Quebec niqab ban, the Bill 94, Ignatieff actually said it was a good Canadian balance for them to pass bans on niqab. So I don't think Liberals are the same towards immigrants anymore. It's not the same.
That was my next question, following that comment, that what's happening in France, what happens in Quebec, how does that affect the NDP and their policy of multiculturalism and respect for other cultures or religion?
We're very clear in saying that should not be happening.
So what happens when the NDP is elected? What would happen to that bill that's trying to be passed?
It can be reversed, and NDP will work towards that. Will.
We don't know yet.
That bill was Quebec. You need
that's in Quebec.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, right now it looks like NDP will be the leaders in Quebec.
Yeah, this is what the race.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but again, the leader in Quebec.
It was a provincial bill, right?
Even though it was a provincial bill, like they asked the federal governments, like the leaders, what they felt about it. Harper said, a representative of Harper said he supports the bill.
Right.
And Ignatieff also said that it's a good Canadian balance. So we know that they're not against it. And so if our federal parties are not against it, then what's to say that they're not going to implement it in all of Canada, right? So it does affect us.
It definitely does affect us. And if the majority of the seats in Quebec are NDP federally, then we would have a little bit more of a push, a little bit more clout to be able to speak with our provincial counterparts.
So do you have a policy against that bill, the party policy?
There's no policy. I'm not going to say yes right now, but I'm fairly certain there must have been a statement issued by Jack Layton about, it was 36?
Bill 94.
94.
Yeah.
Which one was 36? Running on fumes and no sleep for a year and a half gets to you.
I don't think Jack Layton.
Do you know of any statement by Jack Layton for this particular issue?
I don't know of it
I don't
off
think
the
he
top of
has.
my head.
Okay.
But that's something that I can do very.
Jack Layton's views are very clear on religions and all that. He's the only one who raised his voice about Libya. He said why Harper bought all these planes because he wanted to send them to Libya. So I think he's the only one who is talking about it very clearly and openly.
And I myself am a Tamil. I was born in Sri Lanka and I left, or my mom brought me when I was 5 because of the war that was happening there. And, me being an advocate for human rights and social social justice all my life, Jack has actually appointed me as the leader's advisor on Tamil issues. And because of that, I've been able to push through a lot of good stances, stronger than what the NDP would have done on its own, about human rights violations around the world, especially for Tamil people. I've been his advisor on Tamil issues, but being a South Asian as well, being a sister who understands, that's something that I would be able to work on through the NDP and get that type of statements, clearly articulated statements out.
And we have experienced in the past that NDP support that, I forgot the name, who was Syrian and he was Captain Syrian.
Oh, Mehrarar?
Huh?
Mehrarar.
And NDP supported.
His wife was actually one of our candidates in the last election in Ottawa.
Yeah. So it is the experience that we have from NDP.
Let's come into your riding. This is the more important for you right now. Mr. Nakbia, he has done a great job. He's a big support of you.
Yes.
And it's not only himself. It's like there are so many families behind him, and they're supporting with you. And I'm talking on his behalf. He's doing a great work for you. I'm trying to bring you into this thing. So what we are looking for, basically what he's looking for, he wanted that our people should also involve into the mainstream politics. So they should work along with you and come into the system. And I think overall congratulations to him that he took the step first and decided to do this and bring you here as well. So any plan for you riding, if you become the member of parliament for this riding? What plan do you have for your own constituents? How to bring them into the system and what are you planning to do?
This riding has traditionally had a very abysmal record of participation. We've had less than 50% actually turn out to vote. I already know that this time around it's going to be a larger number.
Because we are trying to...
All three candidates are new.
All three candidates are new. I've been working and doing a lot of civic engagement work with the youth in our community. Of all the candidates this time, I'm the only one who actually lives in the riding. And I live in Melbourne, and I've been working with the Melbourne youth through the civic engagement arm of the Action for Neighbourhood Change to increase the civic participation of our youth. Scarborough Rouge River has the highest youth to population ratio in all of Toronto. We have 23.6% youth to the rest of the population, whereas the rest of Toronto has much lower. So youth need to be a big focus, and I've already been doing that. I've been working with the Melbourne alumni. I've been actually booking time off of work to volunteer and go do youth leadership seminars and to go speak at our high schools about civic engagement, getting our youth more involved. I think that's going to be the biggest way to increase engagement in the Rouge River community. But I think your question was also leading towards South Asian communities' participation as well. For that, this election shows that it can be done because the three leading candidates, or the candidates from the three major parties, are all South Asians.
No.
Well,
Conservative is not South Asian.
she's not. She's English. She's Scottish and French descent, but she.
Two of you guys are from South Asia.
So she says she was born in India, so that's why. She calls herself, so I don't want to define herself. It's about self-identification. It's about self-identification, and she, it's good for her to identify. So she does, I guess.
Maybe she has to show like Obama.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's go with the birth certificate issue now. Yeah.
Prove that you're American.
Have a Donald Trump here.
Can I answer that question?
Yes.
Can I answer that question?
Yes, please.
For riding participation, we would love to have your people to be represented in the riding activities. So thereby there would be an interaction with the MP as such. This is what I would love.
It's about strengthening the riding association as well.
Yeah, I think he has thrown the first step. So You should be the person representing all of us.
You
in
could
your riding.
Definitely, Mr.
Of
Singh.
course,
You
yeah,
should
decide you could.
please, when we have the AGM for the riding,
Please do
we need to
come.
get you on board.
Should sit on this.
Yeah, we
Okay.
need to get you on board.
I voted for you.
What are your expectations from all of us for tomorrow? What are you looking for?
All of you?
Yes.
Okay, this is
That
it.
is important.
Few, 3. Go vote.
For sure.
Good.
When you vote, vote NDP. Rathika Sitsabaiesan, the very last one on the ballot.
Last name.
And don't go alone. Take your family, entire family, every member of your family, and a friend with you. That's how we're going to do it. We're not going to be able to do it with having, in the South Asian community, it's about a 30% response rate. Actually, if there's 3 members in the family who can go vote, 1 person goes as the representative of the family to vote. We need to not have that, If you're doing laundry and your brother's doing cooking and your daughter's studying, all 3 of you stop. Go vote. Take that half an hour, all 3 of you go vote. And pick up your cousin on the way and go vote together. That's how we're going to make it happen. It has to be the community, the entire community coming together to make this history. And it is going to be history because we're going to be electing very, very many firsts. The first woman to represent this community, this riding of Scarborough River. First South Asian woman. First person who actually lives in the riding to represent the riding.
This is the main thing. Yeah,
the person
because
who's
you know
been
that.
the member here for the last 23 years, he doesn't live here.
Yeah.
Not very many people know that. And his hand-picked appointee doesn't live here either. And the other candidate, the Conservative candidate, doesn't live here either. She openly says, I work in Markham, I'm from Thornhill, or I don't know where Richmond Hill or Newmarket or somewhere. And it'll be the first time we elect somebody who's actually from the community. I'm already working in the community with our youth. I'm on the board of directors for the Resident Coalition as well. I'm the racial justice representative for QT Ontario's Women's Committee. I work in our community but also have been doing advocacy at the provincial and national levels. So I do know, I'm very confident in saying that this time there's only one real option. There's one choice. And that choice is me.
You.
Rathika Sitsabaiesan.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your hard questions. They're very real questions, though.
He's my
They're practical
younger son.
questions.
He's your younger son.
See, it's about raising
You should
brilliant
come to the
people
riding.
in our communities and ensuring
Please.
that you're actively participating. And if you didn't ask those questions, you'd be like, hey, vote for me, okay, bye. But your questions are very real. Huh?
Your time would have been
Exactly. Like, your questions are very real because those are the same things that I'm hearing from a lot of people. Like, everything's more expensive. What are we doing about it?
And also the young lady's questions about the university.
Yeah.
She's even younger than me. So it gets harder as it
So, like I said, it's the youth who we have to
That's why
focus on.
I told you I have only me.
Yeah.
I have 12 votes in my house.
Thank you.
So I have 5 kids,
And 2 of us are married. We have wives, so.
and both of them they are married.
Yeah. So we have backup with us.
So
Next time
nice.
you take her place.
No, she's gonna be here, and I'll support her.
Thank you.
She'll be here. Just we can have